Making art every day for 31 days? Can I really do that? Well, I'm challenging this idea by participating in Peachtober this year and making an art piece every single day for the month of October. Howdy hey, I'm Kit Kat and welcome to day 11 of Peachtober. Today's prompt is seagull, and before we get into anything, it's time for Card Attack time! The time where I pick an extra challenge for today's art prompt. So with that, let's pick our challenge. Today's challenge is Color Crazies, where I have to use my least favorite colors in the art piece, which is actually going to be a little bit hard because I feel like I like every color and I tend to use every color in my art. So coming up with colors that I don't like might actually be a little bit complicated. Before we get into it, these are the colors that I ended up choosing based off of, I guess, that I didn't like them. And also, here is my silly little sketch. Now that I have this sketch, let's get cooking. And we're back with another voiceover with Kit Kat. I was very excited about the design for today because first off, I love curly fries. And second off, I thought it would be fun to make a bag of curly fries because when I think of seagulls, I think of fries and I think of fries being stolen by seagulls. So that was literally the whole concept of this piece. But then that also made it hard because I was really excited to do this piece and now I have to use some colors that I don't necessarily like for it, when what I want to do is invest in it because it was a piece I was really excited to do. So here's how I came up with the colors that I picked as my reasons for not liking. So first and foremost, I picked navy blue, which I know what you're thinking. You use navy blue all the time in your work. And in general, you use blue a lot. And you would be correct. I do love blue and I do use it a lot in my work. My least favorite blue is navy blue. Part of that has to do with the fact that I had to wear a uniform for a good half of my life that was navy blue. Part of it is it just is kind of a dull color, and I used to wear it a lot in middle school, but I kind of phased out of the navy blue lifestyle. I definitely like more of an ultramarine blue or just other blues. Navy blue is not my favorite. And so the reason I use navy blue is, number one, I knew it would be good for outlining the piece. Number two, I felt like it was a legitimate color that I don't really have in my closet. I don't wear it very often. And it's actually not really one of my favorite colors, and especially not one of my favorite blues. The next color I picked, unironically, but maybe ironically, was pink. I know what you're thinking. You use pink in your work, but I'm gonna tell you a story. There was a long period where I did not like pink, and it's taken a long time to get back to a point of even liking pink, which is why I use it a lot more in my work now. I picked this specific pink because it's a pink I don't naturally gravitate to. I'm definitely more of like a hot pink person, and I don't really love light pink as much. Don't hate pink, but it's not my favorite. And so I felt like it was okay to use pink because first and foremost, the pinks I like to use the most are the big, bright, bold ones, not the light ones. So I used a light pink. And then secondly, I used to literally hate pink. So we've come a long way in even being able to use it in my work. Another color I decided to use was gray, which I don't even know if you could call that a color, but I don't like gray. I just find it really boring, and I remember growing up, all the girls wore gray, and so I tried to fit in by wearing gray, and honestly, I just don't really like gray. I'm not against people liking gray, but I'm not one of those people, and so I thought it would be good to use gray in the piece because it's not something I like to use. Another one I decided to use was beige. beige is very in right now with the minimalistic types. And if you've seen my apartment, you know it is not minimalistic in here. I don't hate beige, but I don't love it either. I feel like it's very popular, and I feel like you can use beige well, or you can literally just make everything beige, and then it kind of just becomes boring and bland and uninteresting. And then another color, the last color that I used was like an orange brown, but I was trying to lean more into brown because brown is another color that I don't actually really like that much, which is kind of funny because my hair color is brown, but I just don't really like brown, and I don't use it very often in my work unless I'm using it for hair because, well, duh. So those are the colors I picked. Hopefully they are good enough reasons. I thought about doing green, but the reason I decided to stick away from green is I feel like I've actually used green a lot in Peachtober so far. So I was trying to go for some new colors I hadn't necessarily used in the challenge so far. And I was also trying to stick to the challenge of not using my favorite colors. And I mean, I don't think any of these colors are necessarily my favorite colors. If you're new here, my favorite colors are definitely the primary colors, and there ain't no primary colors in here. I guess you could count blue, but I feel like the blue I'm thinking of with the primary colors is very different than the blue that I used here. In regards to the design, it's a bag of curly fries that you would buy at the grocery store, probably in the freezer section. And the design is supposed to kind of mimic the beach, but as if like a seagull stole your curly fries at the beach. And of course, the catch line is so good, you'll want to steal them, because seagulls tend to steal our treats, and so I thought it would be funny to make a whole company based on that concept. And so the company is called Curlies because they're curly fries. I really tried to incorporate the little curly doodly vibe to it with the curly fries, and honestly, while working on it, I started to definitely crave some curly fries, and I kind of wanted to low-key drive to Arby's to get curly fries. I would never go to Arby's for anything else. I don't really like Arby's, but their curly fries are very good. I love a good Arby's curly fry. And I would just about hop in my car right now to go get an Arby's curly fry. So yummy, so good. And if you've never had one, it's the one thing I would recommend on the menu. Anyway, maybe I'll just go to the grocery store and get curly fries. Now I'm just thinking about curly fries, and it's all I can think about. But I guess the packaging is right. They're gonna be so good, you will want to steal them. Anyways, with that, that's how I incorporated the prompt seagull into the piece, and I thought this was a really fun, silly, goofy, creative way of doing it. I tried my best to use colors I didn't like, and with that, I completed today's design, and it's just about time to show you how it turned out. And you made it to the end of the video where I get to show you the final design. Coming up with some colors that I didn't like was a little bit hard because I like a lot of colors, but I think that the ones I picked worked well together, which of course matters to me, but also are colors that I wouldn't necessarily say are my favorite colors. Before we say goodbye, I am filming a video every single day for YouTube to show you my art process and the why behind the design. And so if you're new here, please stick around for a while and hit that subscribe button because there's 31 days of Peachtober and we're only on day 11. So that means we still have, I think, 20 something days to go. And if this is the first video you're watching of Peachtober, there are other episodes that you can go watch right now to see some of the other pieces I've made so far this month. If you want to see pieces a little bit closer up and look at it for a little bit longer, I'm also posting them all to my social medias, so you can go check those out in the links down below. But with that, thank you for watching. Please leave a like and a comment to let me know what you thought of the design, what you've been thinking of Peachtober so far. But with that, I will see you tomorrow, and I will catch you on the flippity flop. Bye!